Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the ITalkBall podcast. I'm your host Mike, and this is the first episode. I've decided to hop into the podcast scene, share my thoughts about different things, basketball wise. We'll see how long we end up doing this, see how much stuff we end up diving into. But we got a nice episode 1 for you guys today. A little backstory about me: I'm a diehard Knicks fan, have been my whole life. I was born in 2001, so it's been a lot of suffering. I did not get the honor of seeing us make the finals in 1999, but thankfully we have a pretty good team in place that can hopefully bring us some more excitement in the playoffs, just like last year and the last few years. So yeah, and other than that, I'm just a basketball diehard in general. I just love the sport, love everything about it. Been playing it my whole life, and yeah, feel like there's a ton to talk about. All right, let's dive into the first topic, the Spurs and Warriors game last night. This was way too close, and the Warriors played around with their food a little bit. They didn't have that great of a game. The Spurs were playing it well the whole night. And, yeah, it ended with a Harrison Barnes heartbreaking game winner, which I'm going to dive into in a sec. I want to skip ahead here and show you guys the end. Here we go, 109-109. Jimmy Butler has the ball stolen by who else than Harrison Barnes. Then we got Stephon Castle and the San Antonio Spurs looking to take the lead. They're already out of playoff contention, just playing to get some good runs in, trying to get a nice win here in Golden State. Stephon Castle, the rookie, probably the rookie of the year. I'd be surprised if it goes anywhere else. Kicks it down to Keldon Johnson. Draymond was late on his assignment, and he does get the layup to go there. But then for the Warriors, Steph Curry, looking like it was going to go to him. They double Smart from the Spurs. And Harrison Barnes with a quick foul on Draymond. I don't think he meant to foul, but if you're the Spurs, honestly, you take your odds with that. Draymond Green making 2 free throws with 3 seconds left. But Draymond, he stepped up to the line. First one drills it calmly. And then the second one also is going to go in. So 111-111. Warriors just got to get one stop here, and they will keep being in that fight for potentially the 5th seed, even the 4th seed. Harrison Barnes, bang. And he gets his revenge. He gets his revenge on the Warriors, as some people would say. I don't really call it a revenge. I call it, I guess he gets his get back in a way. But the Warriors didn't really do him wrong. He did the Warriors wrong because he had a nice game, 20 points, 6 of 9, 5 of 8 from 3 before that shot. I feel like you can't really get him that look, especially looking at the rest of the guys on the roster. Maybe make one of these rookies or even a Devin Vassell, who's 4 for 11, take that shot. But it is what it is. Spurs end up with the win. Warriors fall to 47-33. They are now at the 7th seed. Even Steph Curry had a pretty good game, 30 points, 50% from the field. Jimmy Butler, it says he only shot 8 times, but he got 17 free throws, so he was definitely facilitating, getting things done, getting to the line. Had 28 himself, but it wasn't enough. Podziemski only 7 points. He's been playing very well though, so can't really blame him too much. Moody, same thing, 3 for 11, 7 points. Draymond had a good game, but yeah, Spurs gonna take it home behind Harrison Barnes' 20. But since we're on the topic of Harrison Barnes, let's dive into the 2016 NBA Finals. Since he wanted to get his so-called get back on the Warriors last night, I decided to remind everybody how incredible Harrison Barnes was in these 2016 finals. So let's go to game 1. The Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors. Scroll right down here. Harrison Barnes had a nice game, a little 6 for 10, nice for a role player, 13 points, did his thing. Solid job. And the Warriors win game 1, no problems. Game 2, Cavaliers, Warriors. Barnes, 5 points. Not his best game, but it was a blowout. The Warriors blew him out. No big deal. Game 3. Now, this was the Harrison Barnes special here. 7 for 11, 18 points, 8 rebounds for the man himself, even though they got blown out by 30 points. He did his thing. He did his thing. He has 18 points. Game 4, big statement game from the Warriors. Harrison Barnes, 14 points. Curry with his 38 statement game there. Even Clay pitched in 25. Draymond almost triple-double. So Harrison Barnes, they're up 3-1 in the series. I mean, everyone knows what happened, but I don't know if everyone knows about Harrison Barnes because Steph Curry took a lot of blame and he choked. But Harrison Barnes, let's see these numbers. 2 of 14, 1 of 6 from 3, 5 points. He took 14 shots and made 2 of them. This is the game 5 where LeBron James, 41 points. Kyrie Irving, 41 points. Look at those shooting percentages. 70% from Kyrie Irving. 53% from LeBron James. And Harrison Barnes, 14% from the field for Harrison Barnes. That's just beautiful basketball right there. And then this is my favorite game right here. Game 6 that Steph Curry fouled out in. 30 points, 6 personal fouls. Harrison Barnes with a nice donut, 0 of 8. So he was 2 of 14, 0 of 8. Quick little math. That's 2 of 22 over 2 games in game 5 and 6 of the NBA Finals. But he got revenge on the Warriors, ladies and gentlemen. It's just, you can't make it up with some of these guys. They create these false narratives in their head like, oh, I got to get revenge on this team. You'd still be on the team. He had 10 points in game 7 as well, 3 for 10. I mean, we know what happened in game 7. It was just Draymond going ballistic and everyone else kind of choking. But, I mean, Harrison Barnes, if you want to say he had a revenge game, got his get back, whatever you want to say, sure. But this guy has never liked the Warriors, if we're going to be honest. If he really liked the Warriors, he would have won. He would have shot a little bit better in game 5 or 6. You don't go 2 of 22 randomly in the finals. I mean, I have a stat here. I don't know if it's on this next slide. Yeah, it is. So, Harrison Barnes, the worst field goal percentage across a 3-game playoff span with a minimum of 10 field goals attempted. Over 3 games. This is over game 5, 6, and 7. The biggest choke in NBA history. 15% from the field. This isn't from 3. This isn't from a certain distance. This is the entire game. 15% from the field. 5 of 32. The worst in NBA history. But Steph took all that blame. People back then were saying John Wall had a case over Stephen Curry. Ridiculous. But it shows how much narratives control everything. Harrison Barnes also, if you include game 4, he was so bad that game 5 and 6 dragged those numbers down to the 17th worst in NBA history. 7 of 33. Because of that 2 of 22 brings it all the way down. It is unbelievable how bad this guy played and how Steph Curry will get blamed for it. But the media controls all the narratives nowadays, so it is what it is. Moving on to the next game, the Lakers and the Mavericks. Luka Doncic returned to Dallas. Nico Harrison might be the dumbest person in human history. There's just no reason, no validation, no way that I can make it work where this trade made any sense at all. If you don't like the guy, you got to put it on the market. You really want AD, you got to get more picks. There just has to be more. I mean, nothing will ever justify it. Luka could become injury prone. He could be out for a couple years. He could be doing whatever. He could be playing worse. There is nothing that'll justify this move right here. Luka, I mean, he's got 10 years. He's the Lakers' future now. Probably extended LeBron's career a couple years. Nico Harrison's the dumbest person in all of basketball. Yeah, so we're going to hop in right here. Luka Doncic returned to Dallas, 45 points. We're going to sit through and watch this just because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how this has turned out. I mean, this is just, it's unbelievable. So Luka Doncic, the fatty, as the Mavericks called him, Patrick Dumont, looking like he has no clue what he's talking about because he doesn't. This is blurry. Hold on. Let me get this full. But, yeah, Luka with the bucket right there. But Patrick Dumont has no damn idea what he's talking about. Nico Harrison has no damn idea what he's talking about. I'm convinced this team just wants to go to Vegas. And then after the 4 years of AD, they'll probably start shopping over there. Luka here, easy layup, I mean, it was tough to see. Just seeing him fry them. These are his old teammates. I mean, he has nothing against the guys on the Mavs. It's all management. Luka bucket. I mean, he had 31 in the first half, 45 points for the game, 7 of 10 from 3. There's Mark Cuban. I got a clip on him after this that I will be showing you guys. But it's crazy, man. This guy took them to the NBA Finals last year. and they just ship him up out of there. I mean, everyone has learned now that Nico Harrison has no idea anything about basketball. I don't know how he's a general manager. But it's crazy, man. It's crazy what they did to this kid. Luka Doncic, step back over AD in your mouth. Like, come on, man. It's crazy. Just 45 points in the night. Look at him, Luka Doncic taking on Najee Marshall one-on-one. Just pull up in your face, bow. Like, and when I feel like everyone knew once you saw him crying at the pregame. You know, he had his pregame introduction and stuff. He was tearing up, couldn't keep it together. I feel like everyone knew he was about to have a hell of a game. And because we've seen it before. We know what Luka Doncic is capable of. He's come into many playoff series, just torch just kill people. Even as a rookie, second-year player going up against the Clippers. Not a rookie, but second-year player going up against the Clippers, doing his thing. Like, Luka's always had this in him. And the Mavericks decided he was too fat. I just don't understand how that's a reality. Like, if a guy takes you to the NBA Finals and he's been getting better every single year, who cares how fat he is, man? He's getting the job done his way. People have done that in the past all the time. There have been athletes that get things done their way. In the 80s, NBA players were coked out. There were people on coke. Some of them used that, and they just played through it. It is unbelievable. But Luka Doncic is too fat. He has a beer once in a while. So that's that much of a problem to trade him and get one pick back? It makes no sense. There it is again. Step back. Like 31 points, first half. Something light. It's crazy. We'll skip ahead a little. Or no. Luka taking on Lively, right to the paint, big body. Man, I mean, it's just working these guys. Here we go again. Luka over the top to LeBron. LeBron will put it in there. I mean, I feel like everyone knew the Lakers were going to be on a mission tonight, led behind Luka. So, not surprised at the outcome. Honestly, not surprised that Luka dropped 45. I feel like everyone should have known that he was going to be on it. Surprised the Mavericks didn't double him more. But, yeah, he did his thing. Here we go again. Now the Lakers are up 10. Luka with 38 at this point, and he does that. I mean, you can't even make stuff like that up, man. It's stuff like that makes Luka Doncic, and the trade makes no sense. Stuff like that. Here we go. Double screen, LeBron and Reeves. Luka snatch back. Now he's doubled. Still bangs it home because he's Luka Doncic, and you don't trade him in the middle of his prime for a 30-year-old Anthony Davis and one pick. And Max Christie. Shout out Max Christie. But it's Luka Doncic. So there's levels. But, yeah, that's his 45 points right there. He's pretty hype about it afterwards, of course. And, yeah, let's check out the stats right here. Luka Doncic, 16 of 28 from the field, 7 of 10 from 3. 45 points, 8 and 6. LeBron had a nice 27 as well. Rui 15. Dallas' side, I really wanted to see more from AD. Only 13 and 11. He might still be a little shaken up about the trade, a little injured. We're not really sure, but hopefully next time, maybe when they go to LA next year or whenever that next appearance is, he gives more heart, more reason, more impact on the floor, because he was pretty invisible out there in my opinion. Najee Marshall led the Mavericks with 23. He's actually played pretty well for them. But the Mavericks, I mean, they're just a mess of a franchise right now. It's really sad to see, especially after making the finals last year. And here's Mark Cuban at the game. People were chanting, "Fire Nico." I mean, that's the look of a man he saw everything that he had crumble down. This guy built the Mavericks up when they were nothing. And now he has to see them trade the franchise player that he drafted. I mean, I have no idea how Mark Cuban feels right now, but I do believe he had no part of the Luka trade. I do believe that wholeheartedly because he really liked the kid and he said he would never do something like that ever. I think he said he divorced his wife before trading Luka. Um, but yeah, this guy, I feel for Mark Cuban in this situation. Um, and yeah, tough scenes there. Fire Nico. Bad caption here though. It says Mark Cuban was not happy with the fire Nico chance. No, he wasn't happy because this was him realizing that everything he built is crumbling down. That's what it is. But now let's get into a more funny thing from the game. LeBron. This will definitely be on Shaq to the Fool. LeBron against the Dallas Mavericks. Someone explain this. LeBron, Dorian Finney-Smith looking, gives it a Rui. Rui fake. Back to LeBron. LeBron trying to hit AD with a little step back. Dirk, miss. Rebound, Reeves. LeBron behind the back. Little off target. LeBron's going to get it back. Little fake. Kick it out to Reeves. Reeves going to fling it over Christie. That's air ball. LeBron chucks it backwards. I mean, this is what the game turned into when he realized that Luka was just going to do whatever he wanted. Can't really blame him. You can't really blame him. All right, moving on to the next topic. Denver and their firing of Mike Malone. Very sudden, very abrupt. Playoffs are a week away. Kind of confused as to why they would do that. But now looking at certain tweets and things that have come out, turns out that it was because of Russell Westbrook. Now, a lot of people in the Twitter community, the NBA Twitter community, NBA media, you know, they'll troll and they'll be like, oh, it's Westbrook's fault. It's always Westbrook's fault, because of the LeBron stuff and him being in the Lakers and what he's done over there. But, yeah, I mean, it turns out this time it actually was Russell Westbrook. If you look here, The Athletic, Malone's choice to continue supporting Westbrook despite the frustration he was causing on and off the floor ultimately led to a loss of credibility among the team's key players. All the while, Malone's choice, It was one thing when Malone handed Jokic and Murray with more leniency than the rest of the group, but affording Westbrook that sort of treatment, even with his Hall of Fame resume, wasn't received well by some. That dynamic intensified recently, starting with the Minnesota blunder. I'm sure everyone has saw it at this point. You know, Nuggets up 1. Nuggets get a steal. Russell Westbrook to Christian Brown. Back to Russell Westbrook. Westbrook gets the layup. Short arms it. Timberwolves dribbling down. Westbrook hustling back. 3 seconds left. Nickeil Alexander-Walker pulls up for 3. Fouled by Russell Westbrook. Game over, and they will lose that game. So it looks like that's what started it. And then a brutal Jokic turnover in Indiana, or it was in Denver, but against Indiana, which ended up with them losing. It says here, him and Westbrook miscommunicated up top, and the big man's pass flew out of bounds. Malone defended his veteran point guard in a way that was seen by some as a shot at the team's young talents. Wow. Mike Malone on Russell Westbrook, he knows what big games are about, and we're playing a lot of guys that have no idea what big games are about. Having a veteran that's been there and done that can also be reassuring for some of these guys. So, a few things here. I do hear what Mike Malone's saying. I feel like when trying to win a championship, you definitely need those veteran guys to do things. But giving Russell Westbrook that much leniency, considering where he's been the last few years, getting shipped around, has he played like Russell Westbrook? No. He's played like an older version of himself. He's not been as consistent. Is he a franchise-destroying person? I don't know if I'd go that far, but it seems like he is messing up the Nuggets right now. So that could be something that gets tagged along with him for a while. If they don't do something in this year's playoffs, or if it turns out the Nuggets end up trading Jokic or something, it's going to be looked at. This season's going to be looked at, and they're going to say, hey, they picked up Westbrook, and now we don't have Jokic anymore. when they're looking at what went wrong, he might be the scapegoat, and it's not a great thing. And now we're seeing a lot of Jokic really stepping up, doing his own thing. Here we have Jokic trying to be a coach.
Hey! Look at me, sure.
Look, Jokic is trying to be a coach here. I mean, because they don't have Mike Malone anymore. It's crazy to see. Look how red he is. Like, this is Nikola Jokic, the guy who won a championship.
Sure.
This is Nikola Jokic, the guy who won a championship and wanted to go back to his horses. He wasn't worried about the parade. So this is seeing him passionate. Obviously, he cares about the sport. I think that narrative is stupid. But to see him with this much passion and fire, just speaking out. I mean, he's had a few things where he spoke out about stuff like here. Now in this clip, Jokic talks about how he actually knew about the firing beforehand. So here's what he said.
I'm not going to say what Josh told me. So, I mean, I knew a little bit before everybody, and he told me, like, we made a decision, so it was no discussion. It was a decision, and, he told me why, and so I listened and I accepted it. I'm not going to tell you what he told me. I'm going to keep that private.
Now, after seeing that, Jokic just doesn't look very interested in the interview, to be honest. But it makes you wonder, is he not liking the Westbrook pairing? Does he want a different thing there? I mean, obviously he wants to win. We could see that. And the Nuggets this year have definitely been a little disappointing as of late. They still have the best player in the world, in my opinion, which is this guy, Nikola Jokic. So I'm never going to count them out. But in terms of the supporting cast he has around him, I mean, they got those guys, but KCP was a lot bigger of a player than people understand, and Bruce Brown is also a guy who they are missing right now. But Russell Westbrook is trying to fill those shoes, and the people aren't really rocking with it, man. But we will see what happens when it is the playoffs for those guys who they end up matching up with, because the West is such a mess right now that Nuggets could play anyone from the Clippers to the Warriors to the Grizzlies. They could drop down. They could go to 8. Who even knows at this point? So we'll see. We'll see where they end up. All right, now let's get into Knicks talk. I am a diehard Knicks fan, so every time I hop on the podcast, we will be talking about the Knicks in some way, shape, or form. Tonight, we are going to be going up against the Detroit Pistons in Detroit. There's a little playoff preview here. We are projected right now to play them, and I think we probably will end up playing them. I think Indiana and Milwaukee hold their spots. We got Cleveland next game, and then Brooklyn to end the season. But this will be a big game in Detroit. Really want to see how we turn out, how we end up playing against those guys, how we look. Because a lot of people have been saying some crazy stuff. Shaq said he would take the Pistons in a 7-game series over us. I think that's ridiculous. I think that's blasphemy. You guys have to respect the Knicks a little bit at this point. If it was 2021, 2022, we just got Brunson, whatever it may be, sure, doubt us. But there's been a lot of doubters. If you're a Boston Celtics fan, you can talk, of course. You guys have whooped us all year. But if you're a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, you absolutely cannot talk. The Cleveland Cavaliers have had a great season, right? A phenomenal season. But let's talk about the Knicks and Cavs. Not to mention, when we played the Cavs a couple years ago, R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, Julius Randle, that was our roster. We had Jalen Brunson, but Jalen Brunson was not Jalen Brunson yet. You know, this is a totally different team. This is a totally different team. And yes, was Garland a baby? Sure, right? He was a younger guy. Mobley, I believe it was his rookie year or second year. Sure, right? They're a better team. But are the Knicks not a better team? I would take the Knicks in a series against the Cleveland Cavaliers. That is not blasphemy, and I stand on that. Boston is Boston, which is unfortunate because we're going to end up playing them in the second round. So I can't confidently say we could beat Boston. But Cleveland, let's dive into Cleveland since everybody wants to say, oh, they're 0-3 against the Cavs, right? So this third game, if you guys watched it, we choked. We sold. We let them hang around too long, missed too many shots. They started hitting a few. And I think that's what really started the Cleveland Cavaliers win streak and how good they've been this year. I think they realized, oh, the Knicks were a battle. Like, we took over the Knicks now. We're that good. But anyway, so that game, Cleveland got it, right? Now let's dive into this, right? So when's the next time we play Cleveland? February 21st. We had a game the day before. We played Chicago. It went into overtime. Second of a back-to-back. We lose by, what's that, 37? 37? And people were clowning the hell out of the Knicks for this. They were clowning the hell out of it. Second of a back-to-back. Now let's look at the next Cleveland game. April 2nd. Look at that. April 1st, we played a game. So it's the second of a back-to-back once again for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So 124-105, lose by 20. And once again, the third back-to-back, second of a back-to-back each time for the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers are not better than the New York Knicks. Let's look at the Cleveland Cavaliers schedule for comparison. Let's look at it. So, when they played the New York Knicks, let's see, we're going to go February 21st. Okay, they were in Brooklyn. They went in New York. They didn't have an overtime game before. Sure, right? Now this one, March 30th. The Knicks also played on March 30th. We also had a game April 1st. And there you go. Boom. Another one. Now, they're going to be coming off the second of a back-to-back against us this time. So now we're going to be able to see really, we'll see. We'll see how they play. They're going to come into New York. You know, the last two have been Cleveland. And I'm taking the Knicks in that one. But anyway, back to tonight. We got to make sure we beat Detroit. I think there's a good statement game. I think Brunson's going to have a good night. I think our guys need to lock in and be like, hey, playoffs are next week. This is an opponent. I know they're Detroit. I know they're young. Cade Cunningham is a damn good basketball player. But they need to be ready. Towns got to be ready. Attack Isaiah Stewart. Attack Jalen Duren, whoever they got down there. Brunson's got to be on his stuff. And OG Anunoby, keep him involved in the offense. I mean, if you look at the points right here, Anunoby been leading the team in scoring in most of these games. It's either Towns or Anunoby, a couple bridges up here. But all of March, like second half of March into April, it's been a lot of Anunoby and Towns. And I'm cool with that. Keep going. So, obviously, when the playoffs, Brunson's got to be Brunson. He's got to do his thing. Maybe he doesn't have to drop 45 every game. But if OG and Towns are playing at a high level and then Brunson becomes Brunson in the playoffs, we're a damn dangerous team. So it's time to start looking at it now. This game in Detroit, definitely want to win, and then we'll be ready for tomorrow against Cleveland as well. All right, and my final topic for this first episode is going to be, do these teams deserve Cooper Flagg? Cooper Flagg, for any of the people who don't know, I assume everyone watching this would know. But he's projected to be the number one pick this year. Best college prospect for sure. He was looked at as the number one pick coming out of high school as well. So now it's just time. But yeah, let's dive into if these teams deserve Cooper Flagg, in my opinion. The Washington Wizards, I would agree. They do deserve Cooper Flagg. They got Alex Sarr last year. They got the 2 pick. But they're in basketball, you know, they're in the bottom of the bottom. They're chilling at the bottom. Why wouldn't they deserve a guy like Cooper Flagg? They need something to look forward to. Their fans have been through hell. So I like the vision there. Moving on to Charlotte. Do the Charlotte Hornets deserve Cooper Flagg? Shout out Matt on Twitter. He's a Knicks fan as well. I follow him. Not signed in right now, but shout out to him. He said no on the Hornets. I'm going to say yes. I want to see LaMelo and Cooper Flagg play together. I think with the Hornets commentator as well, that'd be a good time. Seeing Cooper Flagg, Miles Bridges flying through the air, LaMelo doing flashy stuff. I definitely think that'd be a good pairing. So I do disagree there. 76ers, hell no. Hell no, the 76ers don't deserve Cooper Flagg. Why would they deserve Cooper Flagg? There's no reason they deserve Cooper Flagg. They haven't done anything to deserve Cooper Flagg. They did this whole trust the process thing. They embraced tanking. All they did was, like, make the draft everything. Why would the 76ers deserve Cooper Flagg? They were in the playoffs last year. Joel Embiid, he was injured, right? But what was he doing that whole series? He was playing some damn good basketball, right? But what else was he doing? Trying to injure the damn Knicks, and no one talks about it. The people want to silence it because Embiid's the golden boy. No. Y'all don't deserve nothing. You got Tyrese Maxey. You messed up getting Paul George, who's been worse than Tobias Harris for you. Philadelphia 76ers, I hope you rot. I hope you never succeed anything. Never succeed in anything. So hell no, y'all don't deserve that. The Nets don't deserve it either. Why would the Nets deserve it? The Nets just had KD, Kyrie. Nah, y'all could be bad for a few years. You do not deserve Cooper Flagg. They deserve a 10th pick. The Toronto Raptors, they deserve Cooper Flagg. I would agree with that. RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram. They got a little core over there. Bruce Brown. I like what they're building over there. Cooper Flagg, slide him right in with the wings. He can bring some more offense, some defense. Maybe make him a nice little play-in team next year. I like it. The Heat. I would agree. I don't think the Heat deserve Cooper Flagg either, to be honest. Cooper Flagg being in Miami after seeing what Jimmy Butler was going through with Pat Riley and all that stuff. I think the Heat just need a year to regroup. I don't think they need a number one pick, Cooper Flagg. I don't think they need that many eyes on them right now. So, yeah, I'd say they don't deserve it right now. Chicago Bulls, I don't know why it says yes. That should be a no. They've been in the play-in every year. They're just chilling in the basketball purgatory. Like, why would they deserve Cooper Flagg? Moving on to the West, though, the Jazz. He's saying they don't deserve Cooper Flagg. I think it'd be a good fit. Cooper Flagg fitting in right with Utah. They got a couple of young guys, Lauri Markkanen, Walker Kessler, Colin Sexton. I think he could fit in pretty well there, so I'm actually going to disagree with that one. The Pelicans deserving Cooper Flagg. No, the Pelicans do not deserve Cooper Flagg. I'm going to disagree again, because why would the Pelicans deserve Cooper Flagg? They took Zion from the Knicks. The Zion should have been a Knick. And you know what? The Pelicans ended up with Zion, and it ended up backfiring because he's injured all the time. They don't deserve it. And Zion need to get traded. Moving on to the next team, the San Antonio Spurs. Do the San Antonio Spurs deserve Cooper Flagg? I would say no. They just got Victor Wembanyama. They just got another Rookie of the Year in Stephon Castle. I don't really see why they would deserve another number one pick. I'm not sure what my guy Matt's thinking here. But I would say no for the Spurs. The Blazers, I'd give the Blazers Cooper Flagg. I think they're a team that has some guys that can definitely make some noise. Shaedon Sharp's a nice player. Anthony Simons is a nice player. Still got DeAndre Ayton over there. So they might be able to make some noise if they were to get Cooper Flagg. I like that pairing. Moving on to the Phoenix Suns. No, they don't. Phoenix Suns don't deserve Cooper Flagg. They had Kevin Durant. They had Devin Booker. I don't know why they made the trade for Bradley Beal. That's one of the dumber trades for sure. But didn't end up the way that they thought it would. He's got a no-trade clause. I believe might be the only one in the entire NBA. So that aged horribly for the Phoenix Suns. But he's their problem now. So why would we give them Cooper Flagg? I'm not sure. They need to be more focused on trading Booker and Kevin Durant. But that's a topic for another day. Moving on to the Sacramento Kings. The Sacramento Kings also do not deserve Kevin Durant. The Sacramento Kings also do not deserve Cooper Flagg. Because why would they deserve Cooper Flagg? They just had De'Aaron Fox. They had Tyrese Halliburton on the same team. They had Domantas Sabonis. They had a really good foundation. Or they didn't have Sabonis and Halliburton. But they had a good foundation. They made the Halliburton trade for Sabonis. Then that was their team, Fox and Sabonis. Couldn't find any other ways to make it work, so they traded Fox. Now they got the Sacramento Bulls over there. Why would they deserve Cooper Flagg? Absolutely not. And then lastly, the Dallas Mavericks. No. Right up there with the Sixers. I mean, you just traded Luka Doncic. You were in the championship last year. You were literally one series away from winning the big prize, and you traded the only reason you got there. Now they're in possible lottery talks. Why the hell would they ever deserve any success ever again? I mean, I feel really bad for Mavericks fans. I hope those diehard Mavericks fans that are like really with Dallas either move to Houston or San Antonio or just even move out to LA, like start rooting for Luka, because this is just, it's ridiculous what they did over there. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm sorry, Dallas Mavericks, you do not deserve Cooper Flagg. But yeah, that is going to wrap up the first episode of this podcast. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully I can be more consistent and get more of these out to you guys. But yeah, hopefully the Knicks win tonight. Hopefully everything I'm looking for happens. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode.